Hi, I'm Steve Saunders on Cloud9. Now, two of the very hottest areas in communications right now are cloud and edge networks. Take those two things and put them together, and you get ORAN or Open RAN, a vital but complicated category of 21st century technology. Well, with me today to discuss ORAN is Randy Cox, Vice President of Product Management for Intelligent Cloud at Wind River. How are you, Randy?
I'm doing well, Steve. Thanks for having me today.
You have a lot of experience in this technology, more than most. What have you learned from that experience deploying vRAN and Open RAN at scale with some of your largest customers like Verizon and Vodafone?
There's a lot of learnings I think that we could probably talk about, but let me just highlight two. The first one is both in vRAN as well as ORAN. I think the interactions and dependencies with our partners in the ecosystem are really important. And if I highlight, when I say partners, I'm speaking of the likes of Intel, Dell, HP, and Samsung. If I look at the two customers you mentioned, Verizon and Vodafone, and I think, as we look at the stack, Wind River finds themselves directly in the middle of that stack where we're having to integrate in both the southbound as well as the northbound direction. And so the dependencies between us as partners are, I think, way more important than people had expected when we're in the field. The things like changing the firmware or the BIOS settings or changing the drivers and the implications across that stack are crucial to understand and plan out in a manner that makes our customers most successful. And I think we've spent a lot of time and learning in that specific area. So that's number one. Number two, I would say, is end-to-end automation. I mean, rolling out in a complete network at scale, like we are in Verizon, with tens of thousands of nodes across a large geographic area. When you're doing things individually on a specific workload or a specific piece of hardware, and you need to do it on every single site, it's important and an absolute must to be able to have automation and be able to do that in a manner that's really simple, and that helps reduce cost as well as time to market.
I guess those are the end goals, right? Lower the cost, accelerate time to market for new services and applications, and make money. But what you seem to be saying is that it's too much for one company. It requires a sort of it takes a village, right? And you have to choose your codependencies in that ecosystem wisely. And you've mentioned some of the leading companies in communications. Are we at a point where all of those interdependencies are seamless, or is there still work to be done there, do you think?
They're not seamless. There's always work to do, and the question is, and when I say that, when I say there's work to do, what I mean by that is as we develop these solutions and progress the capabilities in the network, there's always interactions between these partners in a disaggregated network that rely on each other. So we're going to always have to be planning our roadmaps and have roadmap alignment with our different partners, as well as when we're resolving issues in the field. As an example, there always be close collaboration and planning that's required there. Now, the question is that you're implying is, will that go away? No, but what can go away is the challenge around that, and we can get better at how we actually do that together. And I think we are right in the middle of that. I meet on a regular basis with our partners in planning roadmaps, resolving issues for our customers. And so I think from that perspective, we've improved a lot, and we'll continue to figure out how we do that better.
In some ways, what I'm hearing about Open RAN is that some of those issues are being brought up by the customer. So the solutions are being almost customer driven. One of the ones I'm hearing about is total cost of ownership, getting a handle on what the cost of the network is. What's your take on that? Is that something which is poorly defined, or are we getting a better handle on TCO and what the actual quantitative data is around deploying Open RAN now?
There's probably many opinions on that, Steve. I guess I think we're making progress there, but I don't think we've solved every item there. I think from my perspective, of course, as we look at TCO, we're looking at areas where we can improve, as an example, energy efficiency as one example. And we're doing that in a couple of areas. One would be, as an example, we just, end of last year, achieve the ability to really run our software with the use of a single core on a server. And so as we do that, that really enables more horsepower and capacity for the RAN workload or any other workload. And therefore, that really enables the customer to use less hardware for more workloads. And so that's one area. The other is we're coming up with innovative features on energy efficiency, and so areas where we would work with both the hardware as well as the workload to optimize power consumption, and in order to, based on network usage. And so those are two examples on how we're helping reduce TCO.
Is there a role for AI in managing the power profile of Open RAN?
Without getting too detailed, I think you could call this AI as an example. If your network is running at some level of usage and it's very low, you could have AI determine actions to be taken in the network to reduce CPU usage. And how that would be done, obviously, would a lot of detailed and complex feature work behind that. But sure, I mean, AI could do those sorts of things based on network usage.
Well, it also seems to be something which AI people would be comfortable with using AI for something like that, as opposed to running their core network, perhaps where having a totally AI-enabled automated solution in the core is going to make people very nervous for good reasons. Whereas having an agent AI in the edge of the network that's doing things like enabling that power consumption optimization seems like something which is a real low hanging fruit example of something that we could be using AI for. So, I certainly expect to see a lot of that. What about this question of whether something which is a virtual technology can ever achieve parity in terms of performance with traditional RAN? Do you think we're going to get to that point? Are we there now? What should your customers expect? I guess.
We like to say our competition is no company. Our competition is the traditional network that's out there today. So as we look at this, in some respects, I can say we're meeting that traditional cellular technology. That we're at par or better than that performance today. Of course, there are other areas I think we can still make improvements. But if I look at both Verizon and Vodafone have both said publicly that their vRAN and ORAN networks are performing at a level of the traditional network design. And so we're feeling great about that. If I look at a specific example, and most recently Vodafone, and you would have seen their press release on the achievement in their golden cluster in the UK, we were literally on exec calls reviewing and in detailed manner where we are against performance. And I'm talking about KPI, traditional cellular KPIs, things like availability, drop call rate, call success rate, handoff success rate, and data throughput. These kinds of metrics that we were literally comparing to their traditional network, down to the tens of percentage points. So a 0.1% improvement we needed to get to before they would give the green light. So I believe we're there, and from my experience in those specific customers.
What other things is Wind River doing to accelerate uptake of Open RAN?
Our focus right now, Steve, in the next 12 months, 18 months, is really around operations at scale. And this is really to bring feature capabilities that enable our customers to operate and run their network at scale. So tens of thousands of nodes or cell sites and being able to do that in the easiest manner. And when I speak of this, I'm thinking of literally being going from what I would call a dark knock, where there's literally no power on the server, from that point all the way to having a installed, deployed, up and running network, and do that through automation. And so this is the when I say operations at scale, this is the kind of capabilities that we're on a quest to be able to deliver between now and the next 12 months, to get to full day two operations in an easy manner. I think that's a really good example there. In addition, continuing to work closely with the RAN workload partners, so Samsung, Nokia, and Ericsson as well. And we're doing that today, and we'll continue to move that forward in order to bring the best feature capability and performance to our carrier customers.
Fantastic. Randy, I really appreciate you giving me and our audience your insight into what's happening with ORAN right now. It's obviously an amazingly important and exciting area of the communications market. And congratulations to you and Wind River for doing such a great job with it. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Steve. Yeah, it's an exciting time, and we're happy to be able to contribute to the industry in this way. So thank you.
We'll check back with you in 24 about it. Thank you.
Okay,
Cheers.
sounds great.
Bye.